Ezra's done a tremendous job. Thanks, Ezra. Well done. We're very proud of what you've achieved and watch your own career advance as well. So I can actually convert a PDF file to a Word document. I can also put it into ChatGPT and ask them questions. So I should have probably been on the far right hand side. So I also have an EV. I drive a Tesla. And also, I've had 3 Nokia phones, but I also had a Motorola brick phone before that, for those of you that have got grey hair and remember what one of those was. So I felt quite comfortable with the winner of the debate earlier, but it was fantastic, and thank you for all of those. My job tonight, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, is to close the evening, but also to thank everybody, do a couple of thanks, and then announce the winner. And I couldn't but help think about how many people contribute. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. It all comes together. Everybody contributes a piece, and then it works out really well on the night. And I thought tonight was tremendously entertaining, and I get the opportunity to go to a lot of different functions, not only here but around the world, and it was fun. It was great. It was laughable. You working a nod off. It was great, and I thought a really well put together evening. So thanks, guys, for a job well done. I've got a couple of thanks to do before I announce the winner, and firstly is to thank the alumni, and I think this year it's been a really high level of interest and enthusiasm in the alumni, and that's been driven by Ezra and so many of the guys that were there last night, and I think thank you for all the work you're doing. And I think for people like Keith and I to watch the alumni develop, we know that in years to come that it's going to be passed over into really good hands, and I think that's important, because at 38 years history, you want to make sure that in another 38 years there's people with grey hair up here handing it over again. And I think the tremendous part is they've done a great job this year, particularly helping with sponsorship and adding some new features and changing the format. So it's been absolutely fantastic. I think also I'd go without saying to thank Keith, and I think he's done yet again another tremendous job. I had a little present for Keith, and it's sitting in my house in the middle of Sydney, which now is going to cost me about $50 to send it to him by Australia Post. But I did want to thank Keith for another job well done, and I think so many of you in the room have had a lot to do with Keith over the years, and you understand that the role he plays, the enormous amount of energy and participation he puts in, and I think we're forever indebted, not only for the Joe Berry Award, but for the industry as a whole for a job well done. I think I'd also like to thank Coca-Cola for hosting us today. It's great. I think they did a great job. Not only do they turn on a great venue with a shame we're not there at night, we could have watched Vivid, but it was a great venue, great view, and equally importantly, really look after us. So thank you very much to the Coca-Cola team. And for Woolies and Coles here, I think you should give them improved trading terms. I think just look after them. Really nice guys. In my day, I would have done that. So I think give them, they've done a great job, so give them improved trading terms. In fact, for all the sponsors, I would encourage the Coles and Woolworths people to give them better trading terms as well. Thank you also to Activate for a job well done. I think it's great to hear the sort of refresh board and the work underway and the industry participation and representation, which has been really fragmented in prior years, and I think Activate have done a great job bringing that together. And again, congratulations on your support. And of course, Tanya and the work, the FGC continue to support each year and bring along so many of the young executives, and I think some of the people we saw on the stage tonight will probably be in the Joe Berry Award in years to come, which is exciting as well. 24 judges today, and you might think, wow, that's a lot, but it was fantastic to get the feedback, the interest, the network of 24 senior executives in the industry. It took time out of their busy day and busy week and busy year to come along and actually sit down for a day, but I actually don't see it as donating my time. I see it as it's part of my education. You come along, you sit down, you learn things, so many things that you don't know, and you pick up great ideas. And I think when we chat during the morning tea and the lunch breaks, we talk about things that we didn't know and how much we learn, and I think that in itself is rewarding for us. Probably not as much as it's rewarding for the Joe Berry finalists, but we certainly have an enormous takeout from it as well, which is exciting. I thought it was enlightening in the quality of the presentations. I thought it was really thought-provoking and educational, and it is every year, but I think this year even more so. The sponsors, they all put their hand in their pocket and help us with money to be able to run the award, and that's not easy in the current environment. We all run different businesses, and we know how hard it is at the moment. Enormous amount of uncertainty in the world, and you think of what's happening in Palestine and Israel, you think of what's happening in the Ukraine and Russia, you think of what's happening with the US election and turmoil, and you think what's happening with the economic headwinds that we've got and the social issues that we now have and crime and energy and everything that we face. It's quite easy that the first thing you do is cocoon and you stop spending. And we all do that because we're all cutting costs and trying to manage businesses. But what we do is we cut out things like sponsorship. And I think the pleasing part about our sponsors is they've supported us year in, year out through difficult times. And I think that in itself is a true accolade on those individuals within those companies that have an eye for today, but they also have a vision for the future. And the vision for the future is the quality of the people that they're supporting and that represent them in the award. And not only is it about sponsoring, but many of them support individuals and sponsor and help individuals in to be able to go through the award. And I think that in itself is a true compliment for the sponsors that have participated today. I had to laugh at Lena's comment about, where are you, Lena? I can't see you. There you are. Where is she? Oh, there you are. I had to laugh at Lena's comment about her parents saying that you're going into retail, when are you going to get a real job? Because it's fascinating. I was fortunate enough to start in retail many, many years ago, and my mum and dad said to me, I trained to be a school teacher. I started to be a school teacher, didn't like it, and went into retail, and that really irritated my mum and dad. And they said, when are you going to get a real job? And so we go through that. They don't realise that retail is in itself, you become a supply chain manager, you become an IT manager, you become a property manager, you become a buying manager, you become a marketing person, and it is a robust number of skills that you learn in both retail or even in the FMCG environment that you pick up. And Lena, I would say one thing, and that is that my father recently passed away at the age of 90, who was the guy that said to me, why don't you go and get a real job? And when I was cleaning out the house, I found a scrapbook, and that scrapbook had every article that had been in the newspaper for the last 30 years that he collected and put into a scrapbook. And so as much as that thing to say, hey, my son's going into retail and it's not a great career, he was obviously, and he was a very unemotional man, but he was very immensely proud. And so I think, Lena, the reality is that retail may not be the job that's on the front page of the paper every day, but the reality is it gives us an enormous education, it gives us an enormous career, it gives us an enormous opportunity to advance our career, and I think don't underestimate how proud people are of you when you achieve things in both retail and FMCG. So I think, Lena, I would only endorse your comments that people do underestimate it as well. I think from our point of view, the judging today was tremendous, the sponsorship was tremendous, and I think as Erica said in her presentation when she was being interviewed, she was enormously proud, and as Gabby said, it was an amazing opportunity, and I think we got exactly that. We asked questions that were a little bit complex, everything to do with youth crime, social media, marketplaces, the role of Chinese imported product, to diversification and to AI, and so there was a real diversity of questions that were asked accordingly, and we heard some great presentations on digital marketing, artificial intelligence, productivity, social media, and equally importantly on customer experience. And it was an incredibly close vote at the end. In fact, it's probably the closest vote we've had for about 3 or 4 years, and there was very little between the top half a dozen, top 2 or 3 people today. And so it's now up to me to announce the winner. So, normally at Australian Idol or something, they take a really long pause before they announce the winner, and they do the same thing on Dancing with the Stars. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The winner is Olivia Grey from Sunrice. Congratulations. Olivia spoke on retail media. So, Olivia, first year you've entered.
Yes.
So we heard that. So, firstly, there must be a few people you want to thank.
Yes, I'm not prepared. I'm so sorry. But thank you. Honestly, this is so fantastic to be in this position. I think, definitely want to thank everyone at Joe Berry, Bernie, you, Keith, for all your support throughout the last 4 weeks in preparing for this. It's definitely been tough, and all the finalists, we should all be so proud of where we've gotten to these last 4 weeks. It's really an intense process, and it's really pushed us, but I think we can all say that we're better off because of it. I'm definitely pushed out of my comfort zone, and I think it's honestly been a fantastic learning experience, and I'm excited to see what being the winner unlocks for me going forward. So I think that's fantastic. And I think additionally, Sunrice has been incredibly supportive. Belle, my manager, the rest of the people in the business, I think they've given me so much support and encouragement throughout the entire process. And honestly, I'm lost for words. Thank you.
And so, when you go back to your mobile phone, who will be the first person you ring?
That would be my partner. Much like everyone else, he has had to put up with me a lot for the last kind of 4 weeks in particular, and even with the essay. Very supportive, walking the dog every morning while I invested the time in the presentation, helping me prepare with questions, and so it's been great to have that support at home.
Okay. And from the point of view of the topic that you chose on retail media, the question is, there was 2 presentations today on retail media. Why did you select the topic? Why was it passionate about it? And why do you think you did such a good job?
Oh, look, I think there was 2 of them for a reason, right? I think it's such a interesting topic. It's such a growth area for the industry, and it's fraught with both benefit and challenges for suppliers like Sunrice and like a lot of us here. But I think if there's an opportunity for retailers, it's really around how they can partner better with suppliers on retail media. And I hope that today I showed them ways that they could do so, and therefore unlock growth for both of us.
And lastly, Lena passes the baton to you. One of the issues with that over the next 12 months, your trip to overseas, you're going to enjoy the next 12 months. However, you also then get an obligation to become part of the alumni. So I need to lock you in now to be part of that alumni, because you've got an obligation going forward. Are you party to that?
I would be honoured.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in thanking Olivia Grey. Just in case you've forgotten, is there anyone else you want to thank?
I'm sure I've forgotten a whole bunch of people. Honestly, everyone who helped me along the way. So I reached out to people within my network, within Sunrice, but also in the broader network. So for all those who helped me, who gave me insight, not into just the process, but also into retail media, thank you. Thank you for giving me the time of day.
Okay. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the evening, and really appreciate the time. I know we're about 10 minutes later than what we wanted, but really appreciate the time and effort you've put in, your commitment to it. More importantly, look forward to welcoming you back next year for the next Joe Berry Award. Thanks very much.